It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today for what is going to be a very fun, I think, Masterpiece Friday. We are returning to the music of Emerson, Lake, and Palmer, and I'm very happy that you are here and along for the ride. So, here at the Daily Doug, we listen to a bunch of full albums, especially on our Patreon, full, uninterrupted, full album listens over on Patreon. As of earlier this week, now we have 98 of them. 98 full album, uninterrupted, ad-free reactions to full albums. I really enjoy getting to full albums over there. And here on YouTube, we occasionally listen to full albums, but when we do, most often it's one side at a time. So my goal is that once we start listening to an album, that I finish it within a relatively short amount of time. But that is not what has happened with Tarkus from Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. Y'all, I listened to all of side one of Tarkus, the epic multi-sectional piece that fills the entire first side of the album. I listened to it all the way back on May 28th of 2021, over 4 years ago. That was episode 147, really early on. And it's still one of my favorite reactions. I had a music score available as I listened, and I really enjoyed getting to know that piece. Then, not too long ago, we heard Tarkus again. We came back to it and we heard the band's recording from their 1974 triple live album, and I really enjoyed hearing it again. They played it even faster, y'all, and it was even longer than it was on the original recording. So when I did that, it was only at that time, after filming it, after releasing it, that I was reminded, Doug, you know you've never listened to side two of that album. And I'm like, what? How did I miss that? How did I miss getting to side two of Tarkus? And I looked into it. Lo and behold, they were right. I haven't listened to side two yet. So since I am the one in charge of programming here at the Daily Doug, I made plans to rectify that situation. Today, we are listening to side two of Tarkus, and I'm happy to finally get to this side of music. As a reminder, Tarkus is the band's second album. It was released in 1971. It was pretty successfully released. It was an immediate commercial success, especially in England, where it topped the albums chart. Even though they got some competing feedback from the critics, the people wanted to hear more ELP, especially after their great debut album. And so this one came off with gangbusters as it came out. And the interesting thing is that where the first side of this album is this huge conceptual science fiction inspired epic, side two has really nothing to do with side one. Side two is a collection of 6 songs that are unrelated to the concept that we get on side one, as well as the themes that are on side one. We get a song called Jeremy Bender, Bitches Crystal, The Only Way, and then in parentheses it says it's a hymn, Hymn. Then it's an Infinite Space, Conclusion, A Time and a Place, and then it finishes with a song called Are You Ready, Eddy? Nice little alliteration there. All of the songs are short. None of them make it to 4 minutes. So what I've got, friends, is the 2012 remastered edition of this album. It's provided by the band via their YouTube channel. So that's the one that I'm going to use. And I've got this set to play, as I've done with other half albums, especially, without a break in between songs. It's going to be a gapless listen because I've been told that there's at least one segue between songs. So let's enjoy side two of this classic album, shall we? And I'm happy that I'll be doing it a little bit like y'all did it back in the day, just by listening to the entire album all the way through. If we need to, or the entire side all the way through. If I need to stop it, I will. But I'm just more than anything interested in hearing this side of this classic album for the first time with all of you. We've got Keith Emerson on keyboards, synthesizers, organs, pianos, anything that he can play that's a keyboard. Greg Lake is on vocals, he's on the electric guitar, he's on the acoustic guitar, he's on the bass guitar. And then Carl Palmer is on drums and percussion. We start out with a short little song called Jeremy Bender. And apparently this is a take on the 19th century song "O Susanna" by Stephen Foster. That one I know a little bit. And apparently Keith is channeling Floyd Kramer, the famous piano player. And apparently Floyd Kramer was one of Keith's favorite pianists. So let's get it started, y'all. This is Tarkus Side 2, and we start out with a little song called Jeremy Bender. Here we go. And we've got a honky-tonk piano.
Jeremy Bender was a man of leisure, took his pleasure in the evening sun. Laid him down in a bed of roses.
Almost reminds me of a Billy Joel song. It ends in D major. Ask one another if the other's a queen. Yeah, that's a little bit of "O Susanna." What an interesting little song. Digging the sister.
Shouldn't have kissed her, but he couldn't say no. Wanted to leave her, couldn't believe her, so he picked up a suitcase and decided
he got the hell out of there. Okay, I know I told you I wasn't going to stop it. We got to talk about that particular song, y'all. Jeremy Bender was a man of leisure, took his pleasure in the evening sun, laid him down in a bed of roses, finally decided to become a nun. Okay, Jeremy. Jeremy's cross-dressing a little bit. Talked with his sister and spoke in a whisper. Threatened to fist her, I think, is what he's talking about. Fighting, not the other one. If she didn't come clean. Jumped on the mother just like a brother. Asked one another if the other's a queen. Digging the sister. She was a mister. So they're both guys. Cross-dressing as nuns. Shouldn't have kissed her, but he couldn't say no. Wanted to leave her, couldn't believe her, so he picked up his suitcase and decided to go. That's a funny, almost limerick, y'all. So what the hell is going on here? Our main character, who is a man, Jeremy, decides to become a nun. He dons the garb and all. He's attracted to one of the nuns, wants to make a move, but he suspects that she's also a man in disguise. And the nun who he's looking to score with, who also is actually a man, it turns out, also suspects our Jeremy that he is not a she, not a nun, but a Jeremy, right? And nevertheless, they end up kissing, and they both find out for sure what's going on. And then Jeremy just takes his ball and goes home, like literally, right? So what are the possibilities here? I think they're either gay and they want to be in a situation where they can socially acceptably dress in garb that females wear, do some cross-dressing, and they're both drawn to each other. maybe, but I think that it's more readily apparent that they're both sleazeballs. He says that Jeremy is a man of leisure. What does that mean, right? They're both sleazeballs who thought of the same scam. They're like, you know what? If I can get inside a convent, it's a female-rich environment, right? And doesn't end up working out too well for them, does it? That was a fun way, a completely different way to start an album than what we get on side one, right? I'm going to keep on going. Next up is a song called Bitches Crystal. And as Keith and Carl especially were fans of Dave Brubeck and Dave's quartet, I believe that the Dave Brubeck quartet's Countdown influenced the band's idea to play a little boogie woogie style tune. So let's get to it, y'all. This is Bitches Crystal. Here we go. Wow, that's soft.
Bitches Crystal knows how you twist all the lines. Fortune teller, future seller on time.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Tortured spirits cry.
Listen to Carl back
Tears
there.
in their eyes. Ghostly images die.
Of course, Greg's great vocals.
Witch's potion mixed in the ocean of fear. Mystical powers emerge from the towers of fear. Tortured spirits cry. Fear is in their eyes. Ghostly images die.
Fun. Woo! Really fun.
Evil learning, people burning, savage casting, no one lasting. Witchcraft sadness, madness starting their minds.
Okay. This is so freaking fun, y'all. A lot of times, I'm not a huge fan of the honky-tonk style piano, because they're a little bit out of tune. This is fun. There's those fourths. Big dynamic contrasts, right? Really soft, and then the full band.
Evil learning, people burning, savage casting, no one lasting. Witchcraft sadness, madness, turning their minds. Ritual killings that swear in the shillings to be.
Danger, danger.
Heretic priestess that dwells on the weakness she sees.
Spirits cry.
Tortured spirits cry. Fear is in their eyes. Ghostly images die.
Mostly images die. And it ends in C. How about that? The next one up is The Only Way. It's a hymn. And that sounds like Bach. I think that's a Bach toccata. The organ that he's playing at is at St. Mark's Church in Finchley in North London. Foot pedals. Now the fingers.
People are stood, moved by the word, kneel at the shrine.
Kneel at the shrine. Deceived by the wine.
You must believe in the human race.
Okay. You must believe in the human race, they say.
Can you believe God makes you breathe? Why did he lose 6 million Jews?
Okay. That's on the nose. Ha! Why did he lose 6 million Jews? That's a critical statement about religion or faith. Still inspired by, I think, the style, the high Baroque style of Bach. Yeah, they're asking questions. Yeah, interesting question.
Don't need the word, now that you've heard.
It's 5-1 in a minor key now.
Be afraid.
6, 5, 1.
And when the hour comes, don't turn away.
Relative major, 5 of 4 to 4. It's hard to keep up with Keith.
And do it your way. It's the only way.
Huh. It's the only way, they say. So I think we're segueing directly into Infinite Space, called Conclusion, where the one we just heard was called The Hymn. And this is an instrumental. 6, 7. Nice. I read that Keith is playing a 7-foot Bechstein grand piano on this track. Good old German piano. 6, 7. It's so fascinating how the classical technique and the rock and roll and jazz and everything just overlap so seamlessly. And he's still using those open fourths quite a bit in his voicings. It gives the music a little more of an exotic flair when you're using a lot of fourths instead of a lot of thirds and fifths. Bass, Greg. That's a cool little lick. Is he slowing down? I believe that's how it's going to come to a conclusion. Cool. Next one is A Time and a Place. And Keith credited Led Zeppelin for inspiring the sounds that they used in this one. I believe that they're in. So that's the 5, 6, 5, lace, go. That was awesome. Woo! That's the 5, lay, sol, yum, bum, then flat 2, flat 3, then 4, then 5. 1, E minor. EOP does Zeppelin. Sounds cool to me, y'all. Rest in a shade.
No song is made where silence is played. Sound of silence.
I'm enjoying myself, y'all. Are they going to end it there? I think so. Cool. One more. A short one. Are you ready, Eddy?
Are you ready, Eddy?
What? Dum ba ba dum ba ba dum bum bum. Are you ready, Eddy? Turn your faders down. Turn that skull around. He's got 16 tracks, Eddy. Vibe me, Eddy. Vibe me, Eddy. Keith Emerson does Jerry Lee Lewis. They've only got ham or cheese. Why not do both? Ham and cheese. Why are we talking about ham and cheese? Although I am hungry. Y'all, that's a fun side of music. I don't care who you are. Holy crap, that was really, really enjoyable. Finally, I did it. Rest in peace, again, Shaker. I'll have to find my beads again. At some point, y'all, I actually will glue that. I just don't like messing with it, or I forget to. And, yeah, I've got beads all over the place now. But, you know, it's the weekend. I'll clean it up. It's fine. So, I read that... Okay, that last one. Are you ready, Eddy? It's a tribute to their recording engineer, Eddy Offord, who also worked with Yes as a recording engineer during this era. And apparently it was something that they just improvised. They were kind of at the end of the recording process. They were kind of celebrating, wrapping up the recording and everything. And they just kind of did this impromptu jam. Are you ready, Eddy? Is what they would yell out from the studio or from where they were playing into where the recording engineer was. And they took the alliteration and ran with it. That's a fun little tune, y'all. Not what I was expecting on an ELP album. There was a lot less synthesizer on that side than I normally get with Keith. A lot of piano playing. Really, really fun. I need to go back a little bit, y'all, and take a look at this hymn. It went by, and then it went right into Infinite Space Conclusion. But what Greg wrote here is fascinating, you know, and it's not surprising to me, because I've heard his take on Father Christmas, the Christmas song that he wrote with the video with him playing his acoustic guitar in the desert. It's not quite your you know, silver bells and tinsel and everything is snowing and lovely Christmas. It's not quite that kind of outlook, you know. So when I hear Greg's singing and I hear Greg's words here, it's really something to think about. Verse 1, people are stirred, moved by the word. Okay. Kneel at the shrine, deceived by the wine. How was the earth conceived? Infinite space? Is there such a place? You must believe in the human race. And then the bridge, can you believe God made you breathe? Why did he lose 6 million Jews? Faith is an interesting thing, isn't it? I want to read one more verse. Verse 3, don't need the word now that you've heard. Don't be afraid. Man is man-made. And when the hour comes, don't turn away. Face the light of day and do it your way. It's the only way. He's saying, be a humanist. Don't rely on faith. Rely on your senses. Be rational. Believe in the human race. Don't believe that man is fundamentally flawed because of a faith in some deity, you know, that can't be proven. Believe in people. Don't be afraid. Man is man-made. And when the hour comes, don't turn away. Face the light of day and do it your way. It's the only way. Greg, I'm with you, man. You know, I grew up in the church. I grew up in a very conservative fundamentalist church in America. And it was the only thing that I knew growing up. And because you trust the world that you're born into, I trusted it for a long, long time, especially with my parents reinforcing it, my grandparents on both sides reinforcing it. My parents sent me to a private school early on, from kindergarten all the way up to 7th grade, where it was a private Christian school, and we made time every day to include Bible lessons. And it was just part of it, y'all. And as a result, when I started my writing career, my composing career, and I was wanting to explore writing choral music, a lot of the pieces that I wrote early on, and a lot of pieces that have become some of my most well-known pieces, are sacred pieces. One of the main reasons why is because the lyrics, the language, the words are in the public domain, because they've been established and passed down through so many generations, right? I can make use of them. I don't have to worry about copyright, right? Over the course of my adult journey, I've come to a quite different personal understanding of faith. My own faith journey is its own. I'm not going to go into any of and try to really lift up what Greg says or really put down what Greg says. That's what he believed. That's what he wanted to say in his art. And I'm receiving it as I can. And I understand his point of view. I still, to this day, work in a church. The skills that I have as a piano player, as a person who grew up in the church, are well utilized in a part-time position like that. Plus, I really love the community of people that I get to commune with on a weekly basis. And I know that there are people in that community that are wholesale believers that believe everything literally. And I know that there are people in that community that really kind of take it as, historic mythological stories, and they're really there to connect with other people, connect with people in a peaceful and uplifting way, and they let the theology be what it is, and they don't give it as much headspace to it as others. It's a whole continuum of folks, even within the small community of believers that I work for, that I serve. And he's saying, I think that religion is something that can lead you astray. You should believe in the human race. I mean, I have come to the point where I think I am a humanist. I am a secular humanist. I just know a whole bunch of hymns, and I know a whole bunch of the dogma and the theology. And when it's appropriate, and when it's time, to do that sort of stuff, I can lend a helping hand to those people that really desire it. So I still get a lot of good feelings when I do that, when I do my job. Even though that some of the wording in some of the hymns are not as fundamentally important to me as they were when I was younger. You know, we all go through our own way, our own path, our own story, and that's part of mine a little bit, if y'all were interested to hear. So I said at the outset that this album did pretty darn well, even out of the gate. It went to number 1 on the albums chart in the UK. The reviews, though, were mixed. Many thought that, especially on our title track, Taurus, or Tarkus, I should say, that they had overdone it, that they had kind of gone off the deep end a little bit. But a lot of people disagreed, and they called the music, dramatic and full of theater, and they loved the sound of it. And over the years, the album has grown into almost a cult classic of an album. It's now considered one of the quintessential progressive rock albums. But in my opinion, y'all, this is their second album. When they get to Trilogy the next year, I think Trilogy is a stronger album. And I think Brain Salad Surgery from 1973 is a stronger album. But wow, these first 4 albums from them, their debut, and then Tarkus, and then Trilogy, and then Brain Salad Surgery, it's no wonder why the music of Emerson, Lake and Palmer continues to inspire us, to entertain us, to push us, to thrill us. The voicings that Keith is using is a little bit different than the voicings of most other folks, especially keyboard-led bands in this era. And Carl's drumming is impeccable, and of course Greg is one of these generational talents. I've never not liked hearing Greg sing, and I think his lyrics are really fascinating, and I'm just continually drawn to this band. I think they're absolutely wonderful, and it was my pleasure to finally, we finished Tarkus. What, 4 years later? 4.5 years later? Sorry it took so long, but I finally did it, y'all. It's been a wonderful time getting to this side of the album. Of course, I think Tarkus is the main draw, but Jeremy Bender, Bitches Crystal, The Only Way, Infinite Space, A Time and a Place, and Are You Ready, Eddie? It's a nice balance. It's a nice balance from one side to the other, and it makes, I think, for a lovely full album. Excuse me. Good Lord, y'all. I about choked myself. Here, I'm going to have some coffee. And really, that's all I had to say. Because I am wrapping up, my friends, for today and for this week. It's been a lovely week, and it was great to finish with a little bit of Tarkus, Side 2 from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Thanks, everybody, for being with me. We will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Doug. Welcome to the Daily Doug. The Daily